Their claims, more than that, his own behavior ran counter to most Rasta values. For example, Rastafarians abhor materialism. Haile Selassie, on the other hand, led a life of unparalleled luxury. He reportedly fed his dogs from gold platters. He paid one man specifically to wipe people's shoes after the dogs peed on them. He paid another to carry a pillow to put his feet on when he sat down, and paid yet another to bow once every hour on the hour. He was called His Majesty's cuckoo. But while Selassie was leading the good life, stashing away millions of pounds in the Swiss bank account, the Ethiopian economy collapsed and his people starved. Look at these scenes. Selassie was eventually deposed by a coup in 1974. The other central pillar of Rastafarianism is that blacks are captive in Western society. Rastafarians refer to the West as Babylon and believe that blacks will only be truly emancipated if they physically return to Ethiopia. But despite the fact that many thousands of Rastafarians have made the pilgrimage to Ethiopia, only a handful have chosen to stay. Every thinking black person now accepts that we have an emotional and political relationship with Africa. But for most of us, the idea that black people who have made homes for the hundreds of years in America, the Caribbean, or Britain should abandon them to return to Africa is very difficult to understand. In fact, it is often said that instead of turning the minds of young men towards dealing with the realities of this country, this myth of a return to Africa is just an escapist fantasy. So that's my case. Rastafarianism has to prove that its merits are worth the sort of sacrifice that Trevor Dawkins has made. I want to come to Trevor Dawkins, who's with us in the audience, and I want to ask you this question. In retrospect, after you didn't get the job, and having lost the appeal, do you think it was worth the sacrifice?
Yes.
Why?
Just like anybody else making a sacrifice for what they believe in, same as what I do.
How long were you unemployed thereafter?
About 4 months.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever once feel, well, oh my dear, shall I retreat? Shall I back down? Shall I leave it and join some other religion? Was there any doubt at any time under all of this pressure?
No doubt.
You remain firm?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to turn to Shango Baku, dramatist and writer. He's a devout Rastafarian, and last year he was part of the delegation of British Rastafarians who went to Ethiopia to mark the centenary of Haile Selassie's birth. Thank you, Shango, for coming. It's a great pleasure to have you. Here, in England, you understand that? Why are you here? Here.
I'm here first
in England.
By the grace of Jah Rastafari. And that grace is eternal.
Okay.
Angels in heaven and the creation on earth sing his praise.
Okay.
And we would be foolish to do otherwise.
Okay.
We are pleased to be here.
But why are you here in England? You went to Ethiopia, didn't you? Why didn't you stay?
Why didn't I stay in Ethiopia?
Part of your religion is that you go back to Africa. You went. Why didn't you stay?
Repatriation is not a simple thing in the sense that you pick up your bags and you go to a different country. It operates on several levels. One has to be repatriated in terms of their mind. You've got to have a vision that is compatible with what you want to do.
Have you repatriated your mind?
Well, I was about to explain the different levels of repatriation. So the physical repatriation can only come after that. And then there's the question of reparation, yes? Because we have dues that are owing to us in order that we can repatriate properly in the land from which we were taken. So all these questions have to come into the situation of repatriation.
Is it a question of saying to a lot of young people and so on, which you're entitled to do in any religion, do as I say, but don't do as I do? Because if an example has to be set, the question of leadership and representatives, they must go first, establish themselves, and then the flock would follow.
That is what is being done.
Is it?
Yes. So therefore it is, do as I do. You know, we have an example to set so that others can see the integrity of our faith. So if we had not gone in July 1992 to praise His Imperial Majesty on his 100th anniversary, then there could be questions asked.
Do you think it's right that a young person entering life in very difficult circumstances should be asked to make such serious sacrifices? Do you think it's right?
You keep using the word sacrifice.
Well, to be a Rasta is a very difficult business.
Well, you said it's a sacrifice, as if they have to go through some pain. And I'm saying it's a blessing. And that if you have any sense and you have children or you intend to have some, why not?
The guy lost
bring
his
them
job.
in.
He lost his job.
He lost his job.
Yeah.
How does he look? You said he's very handsome. Does he look as if is he embittered?
He lost his job. Other people have lost their jobs. Don't you accept that?
Well, you started off by making a statement that we are different from...
Persecuted by the police, by customs, by all manner of people.
Yes.
Do you think that you are in a position to require people to go through all of that, even though they do? I'm asking if that's your policy. I must ask you.
Yes, therefore you will find that my young son at the age of 5 carries his dreadlocks wherever he goes in the world. Yes, and I would demand that of him. And if we have to go through sacrifices to understand ourselves better, do you mean to ask me whether I would turn away and become a sellout if, you know, I found what I had to do in my heart difficult? Is that what you would do?
Shango, you're absolutely avoiding the reality.
Which reality?
That these guys lose their jobs, Shango. They do. It's extremely difficult. You are a highly intelligent, highly sophisticated, highly educated, highly cultured individual. You can always get a job. There are others who can't.
Jobs and employment is two different things. The Rasta man employs himself because he wants to be independent, yes? And because he has that spirit of projecting his Rastafari faith in a real way. So the employment by the system is not
was he doing something wrong applying for a job elsewhere?
Was he doing something wrong?
Yeah.
No.
Anti-Rasta?
No.
Oh.
At all.
Okay.
At all. We also have people who are doctors and lawyers.
I want to take up some other questions of religion with you now. Selassie's God.